Hi everyone, just going to give you a wee run around our cabins, but first of all I'm just going to have a wee general chat with you. We're now into the shooting season. We've had our first 2 frosts so far this year, and I know everybody's all excited now about getting out woodcock shooting, pheasant shooting, duck shooting and whatever else you get up to. Now, in relation to your gun dogs and your best friend, basically. Boys go out and they spend fortunes of money on guns, clothing, jeeps, boxes for the backs of their jeeps, and the poor old dog, he's the last that's really thought about. Now, a gun dog is a supreme athlete. He is the boy. Without him, you're wasting your time going out for a day shooting unless you're going to shoot clays. And he should always come first in everything and anything that you do. Now, I see on some of the forums at the moment lads are posting up about dogs losing condition, what food they should feed them on, and this, that and the other. The problem in this day and age is that most working dogs now, Labradors, Cockers and Spaniels, are running very lean. There's no body fat on them at all. They're extremely fit, and a lot of that comes through the trial breeding. So you don't have the old strong Springer Spaniel that we once used to have, or the big heavy set Labrador. They're all built now for speed, and therefore they're carrying no body fat. Now, when you go out for a day's shooting and it comes to lunchtime, you stop, you have a bite to eat. Your poor wee dog, he's sitting foundered. And what I do myself, and have done for many years, and the boys that have shot along with me can vouch for this, I would come back to the car, or wherever it is that I'm having a drop of tea, dry my dog off with the towels. And in this day and age, you now have an aqua fleece. We didn't have back in them days, but I would have dried my dog off with the towels. When I was having me bite to eat, I always brought a flask of either chicken soup or porridge with milk and a drop of sugar in it. And when I was eating, my dog got a bowl of that, and that set him up again for after lunch, or we changed the dogs over, out with fresh dogs. But at least if he was in the trailer or the boot box, he had something warm in his belly. Now, in relation to dogs losing condition, there's 2 reasons for that. And the one that's overlooked most is what type of conditions is your dog living in. Now, my father was a great dog man. I'm now walking dogs 50 years, God rest my father's soul, but he taught me extremely good dog etiquette from a very early age. And the most important thing with a walking dog is that when he comes home, he's draft free and he's in somewhere warm. Now, a lot of the boxes in this day and age that people are alleging are warm are nothing of the sort. How can a box be warm with a big gaping hole in the front of it? What happens? The heat escapes and the cold comes in. Would you come home after a day's shooting where you'd been soaked, get into a cold bed and leave all your bedroom windows open and your doors open? I don't think you would. You'd find that you would lose condition extremely quickly as well. So kenneling is seriously important, as is the dog's diet and the dog's welfare, i.e. put an aqua fleece on him, get something warm into him. What you have to remember is your dog's exhausted, he's empty, he's stressed, so the last thing he needs is to be put into a freezing cold kennel. Now, this is a range of our kennels here, and various colours, green, black, lovely blue, white, and the new colour now that's for us is the gunmetal grey. If you come to this wee terrier cabin, the lady has asked for this one to have a night heater in it. As you can see there's a night heater inside. Keeps the wee dog warm. Poly flap. This is our standard green cabin, medium. Again, door opens up. Step over. for the dog to get in and out through, and most importantly, a cover covering the big gap going in and out. Now, if your dog happens to eat that Play-Gene curtain, all you have to do, as we've done in this wee cabin over here, this wee terrier cabin, is put a sliding door on. Job done. No worries about the dog being cold. Now, our cabins are very, very well ventilated. This is one of our large cabins, luxury cabin. Polycarbonate flap, done in the nice blue. Cow matting, which gives the floor double insulation. And again, a night heater inside. Now, I go round the back with a torch, and you will see that the light shines through the vents, which means that there's plenty of air getting inside the boxes. These vents just work like window vents. So at night time your dog's getting plenty of air. You have no worries about him suffocating inside a box. We also have a double vent in the door, so there's 6 vents inside. We're not cutting a hole and putting a vent on the outside and leaving the bit on the inside that the dog can chew and rip off. So all in all, a good, warm, clean, tidy box. Very easy maintained. I designed these cabins in 1991. Dog cabins had never been heard of before until I designed them in 1991, and now everybody's having a go at them. Myself and the boys had the laugh today. We had somebody called into the workshop here today with a dog cabin. Boy was very cross and irate, and I said to him, "What's wrong?" And he says, look at the state of this cabin." And I looked at it on the tail and I said, "That's not one of ours." He said, "It is." He says, "It's a KM cabin." I said, "No, definitely not." I says, "Come in, do you see a KM cabin?" And he come in and he says, "Well, whose is this?" I says, "Well, I know whose it is, but you should know where you bought it from. That's where you should be taking it back to." "Well, I bought it brand new, third party." I said, "It's not my problem." I said, "Probably the best thing for you to do for that is to put it in the skip outside." It was atrocious, off square, big gaps in the paneling inside. Somebody had run sealer and just rubbed their finger up in it. Total disaster area. And the welding on it was like something a 2-year-old would do. But you know, if you're going to copy a man's work, do it well or do it better. You know, but don't be making a hash out of a thing and charging the same prices as what we're charging here for a quality product. What you have to remember is, I have 30 years experience in this, and I know what I'm talking about. These boys are fly-by-night boys that are out trying to make a quick buck. If there's a problem with their product, they won't stand over it. And then people see that product and think that it's my product when it's not, because it looks something similar and it needs to be nipped in the bud. So, unless you see this on a dog cabin, it's not a KM engineering cabin. If one of them isn't on it, and you've bought it direct from us, you know that it's a KM cabin. We do not supply to third parties. We do not have agents. So unless you buy it direct from us, and it has that on it, or you've bought it direct from us, it isn't a KM cabin. It may look like one, but it's not. These disaster areas that's on the market are exactly that. They're poor quality, poor workmanship, poor materials, and people are running around charging more or less the same price as us. And it's like comparing a Mini Metro with the BMW. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet. We're making these 30 years. We've sold tens of thousands of them, and I mean tens of thousands of them. And I could, hand on heart, say that if we've had 20 or 25 cabins that have given problems in all that time, that's the height of it. Now, I've been asked on a few occasions, why do I not use stockboard? We used to use stockboard when I started back 10 years ago. We used to buy it from Solway Recycling in Dumfries. Good enough product, but the problem that we had with it was that the floors all buckled, dipped, humped up in a big hump, and for the life of God you cannot get a sealer that'll stick to it. So you're leaving an exposed edge where all sorts of things